No edits.
No edits.
My name is Jeremy Shines, and this is the intersection where we talk about difficult issues, not just religious or political, but just even just communal things. We're just gonna wing it. I don't really have a subject, so I'll just whatever comes out of it, I'll just find something out of that and title it. I'm here with Rebecca Lake,
Hello.
and this is her first time, so show us grace. All right, so we are talking about when I came in here. I asked you to if you wanted to do a podcast. How did it make you feel?
Nervous. Immediately nervous.
Why is that?
I don't like to be in the spotlight. Um, Things, like you said, are controversial. I don't want to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. I just kind of want to be myself and accepted for who I am.
It's like most of us, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, I was saying that we thrive off relationships. We need relationships in our lives. That's what I personally believe, you know. And when we feel misunderstood or rejected, you know, I think that's whether the person or people or whoever intended it or not. I think a lot.
I don't know if people intend it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that people are doing their best. But I think a lot of it is just how it comes across and then how it's perceived. A lot of it of what we're dealing with.
Interpreted.
And so hopefully people aren't that cruel.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys have this library, and this is not the library I remembered it.
It's not.
This is really different and awesome in a good way. You guys need to come to the library in Battle Mountain. Do you know what inspired the the change?
Um, I think we were just looking to give the library a facelift. We wanted the library to be a community hub again. And what better way than a facelift and updating it and making it beautiful? Um, I think that's really what inspired it.
Mm, yeah, it's really nice. You guys need to check it out. And how long have you guys been here? How long you been in the library since?
I've been working in the library for 3 years now. So this I'm going into like 3.5 years. So I've been
Oh.
here. I was tasked with remodeling it, of course, with my oversights, checking everything with
Do
them.
you see this?
But
This is really nice.
thank you.
This is I was like I felt like when I walked in here I felt like I was in the Beauty and the Beast. Like I only liked the first one because I was a kid and I watched it, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I either hear it's, Harry Potter or Beauty
oh
and the
yeah.
Beast. Yeah.
Harry Potter. My wife's obsessed with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You like Harry Potter?
I do. Of course I do.
Reading. Is reading important and why?
Oh gosh. Reading's everything. If you can read, you can conquer the world.
Yeah.
You can learn anything you want by reading.
Hmm.
Um, it's important in so many ways, whether that's simple things, right? Like reading road signs, ordering at restaurants, all the way to filling out a job application and knowing what's being asked. So yeah, reading is everything.
Even articulating your words and
Yeah,
emotions and so forth.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
grows empathetic people
Hmm.
who can sympathize and understand maybe where one's coming from.
Hmm.
It can pull you out of mental health
Hmm.
situations. I I just love reading. It's really
Hmm.
big.
Yeah, I agree. My wife likes to read. She reads so fast. I was like, my gosh, like she's like just picks up a book in less than a few days. She's like putting it away. And I was like, all right, you done? She's like, yep. And I was like, what the? Did you see the little funny videos that people will share on like Facebook where it's like how I read, like the husband, and then how my wife reads?
Yeah,
You've seen those?
yeah. I'm probably more like the husband. I'm going to be honest. I am not a fast reader. I'm very slow. I am more detail oriented when I read, so I'm
Mhm.
not just skip. I
You just want
can't
to you want understanding.
and comprehend it
Hmm.
and recall,
Hmm.
and so
Be able to recite what you learned
yeah,
and identify. Yeah, reading is very important. Um, we don't read enough, you know.
Mm-mm.
I think even historical, like true stories, history, and so forth.
Hmm.
I'm getting into reading myself.
Good.
Like,
That's really good.
um, I didn't really read growing up.
I did and I didn't,
Mm,
right? Like I was an avid reader. It's all I kind of really did. But then I got so involved in sports
mm,
that sports took up all of my time. So then I kind of fell off the bandwagon with it. And I always claimed I was a reader. I always kept that
mm,
as one of my things. But it wasn't until I was like a young mom here in Battle Mountain with not much to do.
mm,
And I was like, what am I going to do? And somebody suggested a book, and that's what I did. And then I just took off from there.
Reading has inspired me to do many things that I have never learned to do.
Yeah,
I was like, oh wow, like you could do that. And they're like, this is how you do it. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, and then that's made me like put those ideas. It actually helped me get out of alcohol.
did it.
So I was a severe alcoholic, and I was living in San Francisco, and I had an issue, and I wanted to quit. Um, and I was scrolling online. I Googled it because that's,
Yeah.
you know, and I was like, how do you quit drinking? So I read an article about a female who quit drinking, and just by um, she talked about the phases, the withdrawals and all that stuff, and what the body's gonna do, and but then after it was very rewarding, and she was more happier without it.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally read that, and it planted seeds in my mind. And ever since I read that, it was like I may have drank one more time, and that was it. And not like drunk, but just like I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just cold turkey, and I haven't really drank really much at
Good for
all.
you.
Just
Congratulations.
by reading
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. And that's what I mean. You can do anything
yeah,
because it's right there at your fingertips
hmm
if you want it to be, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
If you
think
choose.
there's a lot of like, on a little negative note, ignorance by lack of reading.
Yeah. I would agree with that
Yeah.
statement. I would. I think though we have to be role models. Like if we want our kids to be reading, we need to be picking up books.
Hmm.
You can't just tell your child you need to read 20 minutes every night because that's what the school's saying. You need to,
Hmm.
envelop that. And so, but I believe all reading counts.
Hmm.
All reading, whether that's the back of the cereal box,
Hmm.
an article on your phone. I
Hmm.
really do believe all reading counts.
Hmm. Yeah, reading is a great, it opens your mind,
Oh, yeah,
and then you have
totally.
more to talk about.
Absolutely. You might not be, one of my favorite quotes was that librarians are not specialists, we're generalists. We know a
Uh-huh.
little bit about everything.
Oh, okay.
We're not specialized in one topic, but we know just enough about everything.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Reading is important, and knowing things, and just asking questions, and
Hmm.
you know, um,
Communicating,
communicating.
relationships, going back to that,
Hmm.
having those relationships and communicating with others and
Hmm.
putting yourself out there to
Hmm.
talk to people.
Hmm. I think it's like a lot of like, even like psychologically, like I struggle with a lot of that, and I think we all do. It just depends on what it is, and uh, different degrees of those. But like reading, like when I struggle with something now, I just go find a book about it, or I go find a podcast or someone who knows those things, and just like the alcohol thing, just like planting ideas in my head that helps me like create coping mechanisms, perhaps, if I struggle with certain things.
Absolutely. And the beauty of different perspectives
Hmm.
because they might have brought up something that you didn't think of or
Hmm.
that you didn't think would work, but
Hmm.
here it is working for them.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I love getting other people's perspectives.
Hmm.
It's one thing I really enjoy.
Hmm.
Sometimes people might think I'm looking for an argument or I'm prodding, but I'm not. I like to get other perspectives and then base what I believe or what I'm thinking
Hmm.
from that.
I think it deals with like the assumptions as well. Like we don't know what's going on in someone's head.
Hmm.
That's kind of a really cool thing, but it's kind of a really scary thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like we perceive, like we know our experiences, we know what we know, but we don't know what than someone else knows. We don't know their experience. We don't know how they're interpreting. Like we
Hmm.
all been to the movie theaters. We've all seen movies. We've all read maybe similar same books. But
Yeah,
we got something completely different out of it.
absolutely.
Like you
Yeah.
said, perspective.
Hmm.
So, but I think that we're supposed to share those.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
I do too.
So.
I think so. That's one of the programs we started here is Coffee Talk,
Hmm.
and it's Tuesday mornings at 8:30, and that's kind of the idea behind it. It's not for us to give you questions to answer or anything like that. It's just to bring community together to talk about different things, whether that's from the schools to the new road being paved, or
Hmm.
the parks, or what events do we have coming up. It's just to harbor relationships
Hmm.
and get to talk to each other.
Hmm.
That's really what that
I
program
think
is.
COVID really jacked us up in that.
I do too.
Regardless of whose fault it was, I think it really just jacked everyone up.
Yeah, and not to use it as an excuse, but I've seen quite a change in it. We used to go over to friends' houses often, and granted, yes, we're busy, but I felt like more time was made for that, to like host in your home or be hosted at somebody else's. And I don't
Hmm.
feel like that happens as much anymore.
Hmm.
Not at all. And
Hmm.
so,
Or people going outside.
hmm,
I've been challenged to go outside more and just like go walk around the block. Just go walk around your community, and some of the looks of people are just like, "There's somebody outside,"
yeah,
like.
yeah, it's almost terrifying because
Mm.
you don't see it anymore. So
Mm.
anybody walking has to be bad, right? Anybody walking. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
I think that we have, like, as humans, this when we're not communicating with each other, we fill in the blanks,
Hmm.
and that creates all the fear that we see.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think that's because that's, you know, when we become the worst versions of ourselves is when we're not communicating,
Hmm.
and just like, not that we got to communicate everything,
No, absolutely not.
but
No.
just, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and finding middle ground and understanding. Because a lot of the issues I've had, with, like, just in my experience, was like it wasn't even real. It wasn't real uh, issues.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like that person rolled their eyes at me, for example, and it's like, no, they had a fly in their eye or something, and
Right. Or what if they were had their own thoughts and they were thinking about earlier in the day of something that they did, so they were rolling their eyes
yeah,
at that, right? Or
and yeah.
or my husband's always telling me, "Wait for the situation to arrive. Don't be creating the situations.
Hmm.
Wait for it to arrive and then handle it,
Hmm.
or talk to that person first." And I
Hmm.
think that's a good thing. Pause. Pause,
Hmm.
take a breath.
Hmm.
And then I don't know, you also have
Hmm.
the free agency to go and ask the person, "Hey, did I offend you? Did
Hmm.
something happen? Were
Hmm.
you rolling your eyes at me?"
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong with clear communication.
I don't think that, like, in my experience, um every, like, a lot of other places I've been to, like, and we weren't taught that.
Hmm.
I wasn't taught
Hmm.
that, and so I was taught, what we normally see, right?
Hmm.
Assumptions, and then gaslighting, and all that stuff. And so, like, in my journey here, coming here, is having to unlearn that,
Yeah.
and that takes a lot,
Yeah.
to unlearn, not to project, but to, like, okay, if I need to look at myself, and I need to look at what I can control,
Hmm.
you know. And I think that's why there's a lot of issues. There's just a lack of communication, in
Hmm.
my opinion,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and not knowing how to communicate, not communicating, number one, not knowing how to communicate, not knowing how to, on my experience, listen, not knowing how to uh, read, of course,
Yeah.
and and because if we knew how to communicate our differences, we wouldn't have all these issues we see,
Hmm.
or we knew how to communicate our emotions,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Emotions are huge. Emotions are huge. I try always leading with like logical thinking instead of my emotions, because
Mm.
emotions can get you to do so many things, right? Like take a breath, take that anger down, and then proceed. And so, yeah,
Mm.
you just have to pause.
Mhm.
I think we're acting too much in our emotions.
Mhm.
That is, yeah, I truly do believe that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Our emotions are. I think they're good if they're tamed, but like,
Of course, because that's what like creates love and passion and happiness,
mm,
and sadness and anger and grief. We need it all to
mhm.
function. We really do. We're
Mhm.
not meant to be robots.
Mhm.
But I think the beautiful thing is we have a mind
Mhm.
and we have power over that mind.
Mhm.
So then power over our emotions for sure.
Mhm. So it goes back to reading,
Mhm.
back to the mind.
Mhm.
What's going? Because our mind. I don't know how you feel about it, but our mind is it. It controls our emotions.
Mhm.
It's like we have a string of thoughts going through it. There's a study that says that every human has an average between 70,000 thoughts to 140,000 thoughts a day. And out of those, we interact or speak or do about roughly 30,000 of those thoughts a day.
Wow. Hmm.
So out of the average is like 70,000.
Yeah.
And out of that,
So then less than that.
so yeah,
Less
about
than half.
little less than half, we act on those,
Mhm.
on those. So that's kind of a little scary because it's like I'm gonna say back in the day, more of my thoughts were negative.
Mhm.
It was like depression. That's what depression is. Is like I talked to some uh, female who her husband and I was trying to help them out, and they're like, I was like, so out of your thoughts, I said the same thing. Out of your thoughts, how many positive thoughts do you have? And they're like, none. About themselves, about others, about anything. And if you
Mhm.
look at their life, it's a
Mhm.
direct it's a reflection of that, of
Mhm.
our thinking.
It's it's easy. I don't want to say it's easy to be depressed. It's not. I've dealt with that, so I understand. It's a continuing battle.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I feel like we get crippled in the lows. So then it does almost become
Mm-hmm.
easy. So if
Mm-hmm.
that clarifies and makes sense, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't ever want to say that's easy. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
um, you have to, it is a choice to come out of that. And it is work. It is
Mm-hmm.
not easy. It is hard. And it's not something that you win and you're done with it.
Mm-hmm. It's
it
every
can
day.
it can circle back around.
Mm-hmm.
You could be good for a year and it will circle back around, or it's an everyday thing, but you have to make that choice and you have to work at it.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal right now is to like romanticize everything in my life.
What do you mean?
um like find the beauty, make every
Mm.
little thing special.
Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Being grateful, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so maybe go the little extra, like, and make little mini pies instead of making the big pie. Romanticize it and make it cutesy and special. And
Intentionality.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
When you do something, don't get into the routine of doing it. Do it like this is your last day almost.
Hmm.
Because technically, we don't know when we're gonna
Exactly.
leave this earth. We see all kinds of people leaving way before their time,
Hmm.
and just people just leaving.
Yeah.
And so,
Just like when you're out on walks, you see some pretty leaves. I took pictures of leaves yesterday and they were beautiful
mhm,
and just blowing in the wind. And it just felt like fall. It was crisp and
mhm,
capture those.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm learning to like reading, um, because it's opening my eyes to
Hmm.
things that are around me.
Hmm.
Like my kids are always like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And we tell them what it is. And I believe that the more knowledge we gain. Now, I don't know how true this is, but to me, because I've also heard it, the more wisdom and knowledge, I would say knowledge, the more beauty we see. For example, like,
I could see
um,
that.
example is, um, so when I got an RV at one point, right, I wouldn't pay attention to RVs.
Mm.
I didn't even know, like, I knew what they were. I know they existed, but it wasn't part of my sphere. It wasn't part of my reality.
Hmm.
And so we're driving and I'm just like, this big vehicle out of my way, right? And then we got one, and then we drove around California, came back, and then I was like, now when I see RVs, I have a respect for bigger vehicles. I have
Mm-hmm.
a respect for like trucks. There's flies getting on my
I
nerves.
know. They're like freaking out because the cold is coming.
They want to be in podcasts.
They do. They have things to say. Exactly.
But pretty much like I now have a respect on the road for bigger vehicles because it's really the wind
Yeah.
throw you over, and I didn't have that or that awareness to them,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And so, and all I did was research. I just did research before we got one,
Yeah.
and then I was like, huh, you
Mhm.
know. And so it allowed me to have, I guess you could say, more freedom and more awareness,
Mhm.
and also more beauty.
Yeah. And
So,
with that knowledge, yeah.
hmm knowledge applied.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely. And yeah, and going back to your comment, I think reading does help you see the beauty in things because it teaches you to slow down. Like
hmm
you actually have to take that time, be intentional, let your mind separate from everything else. Read what's on the page. You have to slow down. You have to notice that. And so I think once you start practicing that, you practice that in your everyday motions and
hmm
you get to see that.
hmm I don't think we're here to. I don't think we're going to know everything. I think we're here to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's what knowing something can help. It can. I mean, that's what technically technology. This the technology means to be able to do something better or
Mm-hmm.
more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we usually think it's like, oh, they used to hand wash their clothes and now they have like this spinning wheel and now they have this washer and dryer. But what I've learned, but
Yeah.
technology actually means to be able to do something more effective, more efficient,
Mm-hmm.
and better.
Yeah,
But I think it's like a mindset.
absolutely.
So
With how you use it and all that. Yeah.
yeah.
I think everybody is afraid of AI right now. And it can be scary, right? Um, and I don't even know how I feel about it. But I think you can use that as tools as
Mhm.
long as you're staying in control of it and not letting it run your life or make, you know?
That is an interesting question. I have used AI a few times. I use it. I actually go to it more than I go to Google because it brings me a very detailed, and then I can just stack on those. But
Mm-hmm.
like, there's different kinds of AI, and then there's like AI that really just reflects ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to train it.
Yeah,
Like you set a key question, and it kind of just goes off what you put in there.
right.
And so, like this one guy, he's like, the AI told me to call the FBI and all this stuff, and I was like, dude,
But
that's you.
you have agency, do you not? Like, well, you can say, no, I'm actually not going to call the FBI. Like, we are still in control, still keep
Exactly.
that power. We don't need AI validating us.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, if you set up the questions, it's going to tell you what you want it to hear, what you
Mm-hmm.
want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, but it is interesting. I mean, some of it does search different things, but yeah, you have the agency to go, do I accept that? Do I believe that? Or it's whatever. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So,
It is interesting. We'll see what comes from it. I don't know.
yeah, I think anything can control us,
Yeah.
not whether it's AI or someone or, you know.
Well, we just touched on some of it, right? Mental health, addiction,
hmm
someone else,
hmm
AI. Like, it's just another kind of threat and what you're going to give control over to or not.
hmm I feel like that's like fear or faith in that
Mm-hmm.
sense. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
It's like, are we going to walk in the fear or are we going to walk in faith?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
which we would say like control your perspective, your reality, and knowing the difference. It's so huge. Like my wife told me, she's like, she draws a circle and she teaches our kids, and I'm watching, I'm listening, and I'm like, this is what you have control over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't control
So, one of
anything else.
my favorite things ever was from my high school soccer coach. His name's Alfredo. My best coach ever But one of the things he would always tell us was control the controllables.
Mhm.
Control the controllables. And I have used that phrase in my whole entire life. Like
Mhm.
still now. I've been out of high school for a bit
Mhm.
and I'm still using it, and now I'm teaching that and taking that to my kids.
Mhm.
And so
Words.
mhm,
Words can change your life.
mhm,
Words can keep us sane. Words can heal us. Words can,
mhm,
and I kind of want to, I don't want to keep it too long, but reading. You guys got the library here.
mhm,
Um, I believe we're created for, I believe in God, and I don't believe I can be God.
mhm,
So I believe there's a God who created who created the heavens and earth. I believe that there's a Savior. That's a different topic. But I believe that we were created for relationship with Him, you know, and that's different from religion.
mhm,
Religion's a job,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Relationship is just talking.
mhm,
I talk to Him. I was talking to you earlier about that.
mhm,
And then sometimes I feel like He talks to me. Like
mhm,
I hear voices that are not voices. I hear a voice that is not my own voice, and it usually is a voice that is good, leading me towards a more better, healthier thinking.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
Um, and so that's why I believe that there is one, because a God, because these thoughts are not my own, and they're not evil thoughts either.
Right,
You
right,
know, they're
right.
they're good thoughts. They're like, man, I never thought about that. Like, for example, I'm like, ah, that person's being judgmental, and the Lord, you know, I'd say, Lord, it's like, are you sure you're not being judgmental? And I'm like, something
Mhm.
like that. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe it is. You
Yeah.
say, or hey, that person's, rolled their eyes, or whatever. He's like, maybe they have a tough day. Maybe they're having a tough life. Maybe they
Mhm.
got a divorce. Maybe they got fired. Maybe they lost a child, or maybe they stubbed their toe, or you don't know. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
it's not. It's like it's not always about you. And I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
you
I think
know.
that's what's hard. It's not always about you, and then the other person is hardly ever thinking about you because they're
Mhm.
thinking about themselves, right? That's a hard concept.
That's kind of how I felt with you were saying that. You're like, I'm nervous,
Yeah,
and I
I
was
was.
like,
I was terrified.
but I've been in your situation.
Yeah.
I was super nervous in different situation, and then someone else was like, "That's you," and I was like, "Ugh,"
Mhm.
you know.
Right? Because you can either watch it or you can just fast forward through me and let's get to the next one. It's okay. But yeah, no, I feel so privileged and lucky to be in this position. I love my job full heartedly. I really do feel like this is
Mhm.
for me. Um, I feel lucky and privileged to have a building like this.
Mhm.
The Austin Library is beautiful as well,
Mhm.
and I'm thankful that they trusted me
Mhm.
to undertake this. Um, but hopefully, it's just reflecting on how wonderful I think libraries are,
Mhm.
how important I think reading is,
Mhm.
community connection.
Mhm.
And so I want to be an information hub. Maybe you don't check out a book every time you come in, but come
Mhm.
in, talk with us, find out what's
Mhm.
going on.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Those relationships, have relationships with, for me, the creator, relationships with one another. And
Hmm.
what is that? Like, what's the question? What is a relationship? And one of the things we do the most is we communicate.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
communicate, like we were talking about communicating emotions, communicating. Like when we lose communication, we feel like we're going crazy, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so we have experiences and we communicate those experiences,
Hmm.
good, bad, ugly, and different,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's my motive. My motive, if you want to know what my motive is in this,
Yeah. What is it?
is to create conversation,
Okay.
to create conversation, um, whatever the topic is, political, religious, whatever, to create conversation, get people to talk to each other.
Hmm.
And when people talk to each other, I believe the world will be better.
Hmm.
Personally,
Yeah.
it'll make it easier instead of judging a book by its cover. It'll be
Hmm.
like, oh, you
Hmm.
look like a jerk, but you're really nice.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
In fact, when I introduced the Wiggles and Words program,
mhm,
um, I mean, it's about a mountain. A lot of people do know a lot of others,
mhm,
but then there's some that don't, right?
mhm,
But that was one thing I told them. I said, yes, this is for the kids, but this is as much for you parents.
Mm-hmm.
Connect to each other. And like, yeah, you might know that person, you maybe went to school with them, but things can change.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know the pages is what I told them. I was like, you know the cover, but now get to know the
We
pages.
have more in common than we believe or know or we're told. We have a
Mm-hmm.
lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all want to fit in. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be loved, understood.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We
and
all feel uncomfortable going out of our
we
bubble.
we all go through jealousy. We all go through self hatred or depression. We all go through anger and so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. And I just believe we haven't learned how to communicate those things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so that's what I want to create is a culture that communicates.
Mm-hmm.
Without lashing out, without like I'm honest, like I've done it, because I know how to communicate.
Yeah.
And I believe reading helps.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Absolutely.
so
I mean, it just expands your vocab that in itself, right? Um, but yeah, reading I think does help with it all.
or learning from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like you read and what you're saying, you're planting seeds in my mind,
Yeah, and
you
vice
know,
versa, right?
and then I'm gonna not everything's not gonna stick, but some things will, and I'll be like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask those questions,
Yeah.
and I might read a book about it or watch a podcast about it or whatever, and then
Yeah.
I'll tell someone else, hey,
Yeah.
did you see that? Hey, did you hear this? And
Yeah.
like we're here to have experiences
Mm-hmm.
and to share those experiences,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
And so I think reading does that. So if there's any like last minute things, you guys have a lot. I want to tackle this part
Okay.
before we end.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot going on here in the library,
Mm-hmm.
and do you want to talk about any of those things?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, we are up and running, right? That took a little bit. I had to figure out all the like the back office things. We had to
Mhm.
get that taken care of, our catalog organized so patrons could find books and information. Now that we have that a little more under wraps, there's always improvements to do or growth to
Mhm.
expound on. But now we are set to expand our programs and really make this a place where someone's like, what's happening at the library? There's
Mhm.
always something happening at the library.
Mhm.
And that's my goal. Um, I hear a lot of times there's not things for teens. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
dive into that some.
Mhm.
So we're offering 8 new programs
Mhm.
that we just started in October.
Mhm.
And so Mondays are kind of quiet. So if you have a lot of things to fax, I mean, we'll always help you. But if you
You
have a
guys
lot
do
of things,
faxing here,
we do faxing, we do printing.
printing.
I posters if you need posters
If we
for
need
something.
posters for something.
So Mondays are kind of quiet. So if you need more one-on-one, that's a great day to come into us. But we'll help whenever.
Mhm.
Tuesdays we have our coffee talk now.
Coffee talk is you mentioned it a little bit. Just expand
Yeah.
a little more.
So it's just to create relationships,
Like what
community
we're.
relationships, just like this.
Mhm.
Let's just sit down, have coffee on us. We
Mhm.
have tea and hot chocolate if you don't.
Coffee, tea,
Hot chocolate
hot chocolate on Tuesdays
on Tuesdays,
at sorry
8:30.
8:30 here
Yes,
till
whenever.
whenever.
To like seriously, whenever we leave it up. We've had some where no one has come, and we have some where people are staying 2 hours, 3 hours later. It
Mhm.
just kind of depends. The girls and I will hop in a bit, but
Mhm.
our goal is not to lead this or
Mhm.
instruct it. We want it to be very
It's
natural.
like a stage.
Yes.
Like you just set the scenery,
Yep.
you just set the dates,
Yep.
and you just.
We facilitate the place, right?
Amen.
So that's coffee talk on Tuesdays. Wednesdays we have Wiggles and Words at 10 a.m.
That my wife that goes to those
Yeah, she
when she
does.
can.
Yes.
Hmm.
And so it's really geared for babies 18 months to 3 years old.
Hmm.
It's kind of what we're focusing in on.
Hmm.
So we'll do a song, book, and craft to go along with it.
Hmm.
Of course, anybody is welcome. We're never going to turn anybody away. If you're 4, we're not going to say sorry. Birth certificate check at the door.
I did hear so um yeah there was a person who showed up with their kid, and they showed up at the wrong one, I guess, and they were the big kids, and they had a a smaller one, and the big kids weren't, because they're not aware. They were
Hmm.
like the older, like, oh, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
They're not aware of the 2 year olds and so forth. So they kind of like were like, it was kind of harder for them. And
Hmm.
then we were like, yeah, you should go to the one that's for the actual like toddler ones.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, they really like that one. So
Yes.
so
That's why we created it, is because story time is mostly like our pre-K to about third grade is
mm,
kind of what we're basing that off of. Well, we started having a lot of like babies and toddlers coming to that one, which is great. We love that. But the crafts were harder. Like, we're not
yeah.
going to give an 18-month-old scissors, right? We're just not going to do that yet. And so that's why we created Wiggles and Words, to fill that void
Hmm.
and give them an opportunity. And like
Hmm.
I said, let parents, caregivers connect also
Hmm.
on a different level. So that's been really good, really successful.
Showing up at the right one,
Yeah.
because it's not like they're just only trying to accommodate for a certain age or even certain demographic or people. They're trying, you just heard her, she's trying to accommodate for even adults,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And so,
absolutely. Yeah. And then we have some drop-in programs for our juveniles. So that's like fourth to sixth grade.
mhm,
We have drop-in programs. Those are very random, and it's while supplies last. And so it'll be changing every single month.
I didn't know yet. I knew there were juveniles here, and
Hmm.
that means kids are in trouble,
Oh
right?
no, in the
What does that mean?
library world,
Okay, so,
that's like our tweens, right? Like it's just an
oh,
older
okay, I was like,
older
so they're
library
in
term.
trouble.
No, juveniles
Read a
are,
book, like.
yeah, juveniles are like 7 to 12 year olds,
Okay, that
6 to 12 year
okay.
olds. Yes,
There's two different
yes.
definitions
Library
of
world's
that.
much more pleasant.
They're not in trouble.
They're not in trouble. And then we have like teen drop-in programs too.
Mm,
That's We're pretty much correlating those the same,
mm,
just different time frames for those kids, because
mm,
11th grader is going to talk about different things than a fifth
mm.
grader,
Makes sense. Yeah.
right? Whether it's, and it doesn't have to be bad things, it could be just school. They're going through a chemistry sequence.
Hmm.
This fifth grader has no idea.
Hmm.
So it's just, you know, separating it out, but only so that they can find connection at the same
Like we
time.
were talking. Yeah, human
Yeah. Yeah.
relationships. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do we have going on? We have our Grand Readers program.
Mm,
That one I'm very proud of. That one I would really like to see flourish more. But again, I was getting my toes wet,
mm,
trying to figure out what's best, what is needed before I expound on it.
mm,
Essentially, what it is I have members of our community that are elder or
mm,
retired,
mm,
or let's call them grandparents,
mm,
right? And I'm pairing them with readers,
mm,
early readers
mm,
that maybe need a little more help.
mm,
And maybe they don't need help, but it's good to be reading every single night. Maybe that parent can't read with them that night. Bring them in, let them read with a grand reader.
mm,
And it's a way to, again, bond
mm,
that age gap.
mm.
And
Is your green light still on?
yep,
All right.
yep.
I didn't charge it, so that's why I was like, "Well, Lord, you're gonna have to keep it charged."
Very good. But the ground readers is to just build the community up in a different way.
Mhm,
I believe that a lot of our young readers
mhm,
here in our community, they need additional help,
mhm,
whether that's sight words, whether
mhm.
vocab words.
I was one. I was hooked on phonics, not
Yeah,
as a joke, even
yeah.
though they did
Right.
it.
But yeah,
You
no,
know.
I see that here. I mean, my boys need additional help. I am the librarian, but I have 4 boys. So
Mm.
it is hard to sit
You have
there
four
and,
boys. I have 4 girls.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It's busy, isn't it? Yeah. And so just volunteer. We need volunteers on both ends, right? We need the kids to actually come in so I can pair them with an older volunteer. Um, but that's a program that I think really could flourish, really could benefit the community.
Mhm,
We just kind of need to get it going a little bit more.
mhm.
So that's every Thursday evening at 4 to
At
5.
4 Thursday
Mm-hmm.
evening at 4.
Yep. So if you're interested in that, come in, sign up.
If you don't have anything to do,
That too.
Come up and volunteer. There's
Yeah,
things to do, is what I hear. There's nothing to do. There are things to do.
absolutely.
We talked about that. There's
There is.
trails. There's all kinds of things to do. There's not really like you said, like a hub, but now you are the
Trying,
trying to be the hub
trying.
of information, because
Mhm.
there's a lot of books and words here, and
Mhm.
you can find out things if you don't know things.
Yeah. I like hub of information, right? Or hub of knowledge,
Hmm.
because I hope to bring you knowledge of whether, the Festival of Trees are going on. How many people know that? Like, come in and
I
I'll
didn't
help
even
you.
know that. My wife knew that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
I don't have much on it. I know it's just the Chamber of Commerce puts it on. It's
Hmm.
all trees donated by local businesses.
Hmm.
They decorated it. The
Hmm.
bidding has started. And then all those proceeds, I might be wrong in this, but I 75% sure, 99% sure that all the proceeds go back to Christmas Alert. So
Hmm.
all that money goes back in, and that's how we're able to do Christmas Alert
So the
throughout the community.
businesses decorated these trees.
Mm-hmm.
They're auctioning these trees off, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw clipboards last night,
Yep.
and then you put whatever the highest is. That person gets, whoever the last person has the highest gets the tree. All those proceeds go to, is it Shop with a Cop? Is that,
Mm-mm.
what is
It's
it?
Christmas Alert.
Christmas Alert. Those
Yeah,
are two different things.
those are two different things.
Okay.
Yeah, Shop Through the Cop is more through the sheriff's office,
Hmm.
from what I understand. Christmas Alert is more where you'll go to the rec center, fill out application to be put on the Christmas Alert. We find out what you need, how many kids, and
Hmm.
then they go and shop, and you
For
have Christmas.
for kids who don't normally have the,
Hmm.
we've been on a few of those,
Yeah,
and we've been kind of like, okay, we can do it our own now.
yeah.
So it helps, and this, it's so important because kids need a Christmas.
Hmm.
They need,
Well, so do our adults.
yeah.
Adults need Christmas. They might not need the things, but they need to feel the joy,
Hmm.
the love.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's important all the way around.
Hmm.
No shame in it.
Hmm.
No shame.
I think that I like how you said that. There's no shame.
Mm-mm.
I think shame is just fear,
Yeah.
right?
And
And
judgment.
it is,
Let's be real.
right?
Yeah.
And they're creating a culture with no shame. It's like, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. But like, what gets us up in the morning?
Hmm.
Is it fear, or is it like freedom?
Hmm. Hope.
Hope. Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
well, this has been great. You
Yeah.
did pretty good.
Thanks.
I think you did good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think I'm still nervous though.
That's good. It's good. You'll get better at it.
Well, and there's no growth without discomfort.
That is absolutely true. There
Hmm.
can never be growth without discomfort.
Mm-mm.
But
No. So you got to just do it.
this was good. This was really good.
Good. Yeah, I appreciate this.
So, yeah, this is the intersection where we talk. We're intersecting. I just literally walked in. We planned that we were going to do this, and then we didn't know when. And then I was
Mm-mm.
like, "Hey, want to do it right now?" And so she
Yeah.
accepted the challenge, and she completed the challenge.
Done. Check
So
it off the list.
that's it. I'll just call it the library,
Perfect.
Battle Mountain Library. What do you want? Should I
Yeah,
call
Battle Mountain Library is fine.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for
So
giving me the opportunity and being curious.
thank you for giving me the opportunity. The
Absolutely.
door swings both ways.
Perfect.
All right. So till next time. God bless.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Good job.
Thanks.
She's like, when am I